Hey, what's up everyone? Adam here with BRAHWEGOTTHIS, and today we're going to talk about what you can do if you're hitting a metaphorical wall as a beginner or new player in ESO. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you probably haven't hit a wall in the game, or you have not noticed that you are in kind of a lull. But these walls can range from being discouraged by your DPS, not knowing what to do next, getting bored with the content you're doing, or just not understanding the game in general. Let's dive into some of these walls that you may be hitting, and I want to help you have a solution to break through those. Real quick, I do want to give a shout out to our newest patron, Tong. Thank you so much for the support. If you'd like to become a patron, check out the link below in the description. You can check out all the perks there. You can also join our website, brahwegotthis.com. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/brahwegotthis, and you can join our Discord. All those links are down below. If you're new here to this series, welcome to my beginner series where I take a character on the EU server from level 1 to 50 and explain things that I do and come up with tips and tricks to help you along the journey as a new player. This is episode 9, and today we are going to be talking about breaking through those walls like I mentioned earlier. Currently on the EU, I'm getting to the 30s on this character, and I've done a lot on this character so far. We've basically cleared the Ardon zone, opened up many guild lines, done antiquities, and slowly been gaining crafting levels. But as a new player, I think that once you get into the 30s, you really can start hitting some walls depending on what you're doing in game and what your goals are. These levels are where things tend to slow down a little bit, and being overwhelmed can definitely creep in. So I want to go through 5 walls that I think beginners definitely hit in ESO. The first wall could be you are just getting bored with what you're doing in ESO. This can range from you have been grinding quests, levels, dungeons, you name it. But the common denominator of being bored with something usually means you're only doing one thing over and over again. ESO has so many things to offer new players to the point that it is overwhelming. So my advice to this situation would be, if you are only questing, look at where you are questing and switch it up. There is a quest line in every single zone in this game, so you can switch alliance zones and freshen that up a little bit. There are also 3 guild lines you could do, so you could do the Mages Guild quests, which are fantastic by the way. You could do Fighters Guild quests, you could do Psijic Order quests, but those are a little terrible, just grindy in my opinion, but they're still fun, I think. Say you're grinding levels, maybe stop grinding levels and take your time a little bit and go do something that is more relaxing. You could do antiquities, you could do daily quests and DLC zones to get motifs, you could do housing even. You literally could spend hours doing housing. The main thing to take away from this wall though, if you're bored, is try something else in game. I've had so many people say, for instance, that housing is something that they never thought they'd like, but they fell in love with it in ESO and it helped them get out of that lull. The second wall is one I think a lot of people hit, and that is feeling like you're leveling or progressing very slowly. And there is some truth to this because, like I said, it will slow down as you get higher, but there are solutions to this as well. However, I do want to mention this. If this is your first time playing an MMO, and say you are used to playing Battle Royales or recent games like FPSs, this game is not like that, nor is the MMO genre like that. I think that some players think that they can go into an MMO game and play it the same way that they play Battle Royales, FPSs, looter shooters, just any game where progression may be quicker or have some sort of instant gratification. This is just not true with MMOs, specifically ESO, because rushing levels doesn't really help you understand the game, and it really makes you burn out quicker. MMOs take time, and sometimes you have to invest large amounts of hours over long periods of time to get to the end game or where you want to be. So the solution to that is in MMOs, you always have to find something in the game that is enjoyable to you, that passes the time or makes progression fun. So that could be questing, that could be trying to do random dungeons. Like if you have no interest in questing at all in ESO, queue up for random dungeons, and that should get you decent levels, but also be fun in the process. But the reality is that you need to understand that there are a lot of levels in ESO, and finding something that is fun in the game will help you not think about how slow you are leveling. The next wall is another big one that a lot of players I think hit, and that is the feeling of I don't feel like I'm doing any damage or doing less damage than before, and things are getting harder. So there is some truth to that because the way ESO scales. So please someone correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I believe the way the game scales is enemies in the environment scales specifically to the player. So as you're leveling up, your resources may drop in total, like health, magic, and stamina, because say when you were level 10, you didn't have much to your disposal. So the game sees that and gives you added boosts to your health, magicka, and stamina, to where in turn that allows you to sustain more when you're in combat and do more damage, and it could also help you survive longer. But when you get into the 30s, the 40s, into level 50 and beyond, the game is like, okay, you have things now, so let's bring those health pools down a bit, let's bring those magicka and stamina pools down a bit. But the thing is, there's this weird in-between where you still don't have full rotations yet, or gear that is optimized for allowing you to do some decent damage, and you probably don't have a lot of passives or CP, obviously. So that is a little frustrating in ESO, but this can be alleviated in some ways by, in the late 30s, early 40s, starting to wear some sets that have cohesion. And that is something I will talk about in a future episode when I'm at that level, but I'm currently not there yet. But the good news is this will even out as you get into CP levels. You will start to have your passives, your armor sets, and passive CP bonuses to where you start doing better. So don't let that discourage you. I think there's a lot of people that feel that, and it's very normal to feel that. There are also people that make builds specifically for sub-level 50 characters. However, you just level out of that so quickly for the most part, like in the grand scheme of things, that a lot of times it's not almost worth having that build for that. But I think it is worth it in some cases. It's just, again, I think that's why you don't see tons of people talking about that, because you're eventually just going to level out of it. The fourth wall is feeling overwhelmed with things you think you should be doing or not knowing what to do. This kind of goes hand in hand with the first tip I was giving you about being bored. Feeling overwhelmed in ESO is a normal thing in my opinion. I think almost every player has been there. If you haven't felt overwhelmed in ESO, then you're doing a fantastic job. But the key with mitigating that is understanding this one major point or thing. You aren't getting behind in ESO ever, because the reason being is that the game is scaled and the content is never outdated or irrelevant. So take your time, slow down, and do something one at a time. Like I said in the first tip, when you get bored of that one thing, go try something else though. But understand that you aren't falling behind. This isn't New World, WoW, Final Fantasy, Destiny, you name any game that has a vertical progression system that is based around you getting to specific levels and content before you can do other content. ESO isn't like that. The only level requirements really in this game, and they're not even like level requirements, but they technically are because you wouldn't be able to do them because you're not going to be strong enough, are raids, dungeons, and veteran dungeons. But these are never irrelevant or never going away. These things are always going to be there, and it's never going to be something that is not something you can't do. So I can't stress that enough. You aren't getting behind in ESO. If you're doing something slow, it's okay. Take your time. The last wall is burnout completely. This is caused by level grinding a lot of times, rushing, or just maybe you aren't enjoying what you're doing. The solution to this one is a few things. One, try playing another class. I think some players get burned out from ESO because they're playing a class or role they don't enjoy, because they have either picked a class or role and race that is top meta and they just saw that it was meta and they didn't actually enjoy that. I'm telling you, playing a role or class that you enjoy, no matter if it's meta or not, it makes a massive difference. When I got back into this game the second time, I looked at a guide by Deltia for a Magicka Dragonite, and I was like, Magicka Dragonite looks really cool. I had no idea if Magicka Dragonite was meta. I had no idea if it was or not, but I love the abilities, I love the way it looks, and I love the feeling. I played a high elf Magicka Dragonite, and it was fun, and it allowed me to play the game and enjoy it. So make sure you try something else before you give up on the game. But if you have done that and you're just like, Adam, like I like the game, but I'm just burnt out, then that's okay, okay? Take a break. Y'all, I took multiple breaks in my playtime with ESO. I've played this game since about 2015, and it took me about 3-ish to 4 years to complete all the base game quests in ESO. So I've done almost every base game quest. I think I have done every base game quest. But I didn't play ESO for 3 to 4 straight years. I played other things as well. I took breaks. So make sure you're taking healthy breaks, because it will make you not want to play the game if you don't take a break. But if you're a beginner and you haven't hit any of these walls, you're probably enjoying the crap out of the game, which is fantastic. I think a lot of players do enjoy it because ESO truly has a fun progressing system if you take your time. So with saying that, I do hope that this helps you. I do hope that if you are hitting any of these walls, that it can help alleviate some of that. Again, I'm going to be trying to finish up this beginner series. I know that it's taking a long time, but we're almost at episode 10 now, and I'm trying to get to level 50 for you all. But I appreciate all the support, y'all. If you do like this, make sure to like, subscribe, heavy attack that bell icon to stay up to date on all the content in the channel. You can also become a member of the channel as well that supports us here on YouTube. And just make sure to check out all the links below in the description. But until next time, y'all, just remember to have faith, be great, and I'll see you on ESO.